Hi folks. Well, we are getting started on the last project for this class, and I just want to show you some tiles that I've made and some preparations I did before creating the tile. So you've probably read the assignment by now, and you know we're going to work with a repeat pattern in any template that you decide, but it needs to repeat and have some indication of reflection, glide, rotation, and some indication of a raised area and a lowered area, or an additive area and a subtractive area, or a shape and a counter shape, and then some indication of clay color and white slip. And so I did, you'll see slides, there's an accompanying little PowerPoint with this assignment, and you'll see slides of this template that's done in all different manners of rotation, reflection, glide, etc. So this really has to come first, and you can make all your adjustments on the cartoon. By the way, it's very noisy today at the crane company across the way. You may hear some beeping and grinding of big giant machines. But anyway, think about this. And once you come up with a size of a tile that you like, you can go ahead and make a tile template. Okay? So the first template I made was a 6x6. All right, and then with our shrinkage tile, we know from our clay that our clay shrinks about 10%, and you can tell here that that is true. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use to cut out my tile, and then I made a pattern piece, which could be my positive, and cut it out with a counter shape. So a positive and negative, or a shape and a counter shape, and I'm ready to go. So a lot of this you will have seen before, but finished product is a lowered area, this darker area, and a raised area. These are mounted on a piece of wood and then drilled in 4 directions, so this tile could really hang anyway, and I did it in multiple. And then I took the template and pretty much cut it up in every kind of way I could imagine, and made tile in sort of like a hybrid kind of fashion. I think this tile worked out really well. Okay, so, but a lot of these were made before I could get to this point. Okay. So, this I think will be very familiar to you. You clean off the board, get all these little bits of clay, and rather than putting them on the floor, I'm going to put them into water. I think I'm going to wet down this board because it's very dusty, and I don't want to breathe that dust. And I got my clay, and I'm going to wedge it how many times? At least 50. I did a little wedging before we started. This clay is very stiff, so it's quite a workout. But I think I can get at least a couple tiles out of it. Now we'll be also looking at the slab roller in the studio that you can certainly use. Just remember, if you use the slab roller, take your rib and really compress that clay after you roll it. 1 minute. Want to make sure we were still in focus. Okay. You guys are now seasoned professionals in all things hand building. You've almost made it through the semester. I am making this video on August 27th, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like in November when you're almost done. October, November, you have almost made it. So I'm just going to get this a little bit flatter. Try to get as many tiles as I can from this piece. Probably only 2 though, really. Then flip it over. This, using a mallet helps to compress the clay. It also, you know, it's a little bit easier to get that slab started than trying to roll the clay. And I'm compressing the edges. I'm checking for air bubbles. So you guys will be, you know, before we, maybe, let me correct that, as you are doing your research and as you are designing your tile, I would say first get your exterior shape determined, and then while you are designing the tile, you can, you know, also be rolling out your pieces. So as you design, you're also building and prepping your tile. Now these tiles are very conservative. These are 6-inch by 6-inch tile, pretty standard. That's sort of what I wanted to do. But your tile, the exterior shape, does not have to fit into that very conservative category. You could do any, really any geometric or organic shape, but you will be thinking about layering the height of the tile, and you'll be thinking about positive and negative or shape and counter shape within the tile. You'll be thinking of the red clay color and the white slip color, and you'll be thinking about reflection, rotation, glide, and all those wonderful elements of pattern design. Now that is not to say that you can't have content involved in these tiles. You certainly absolutely can. You know, there could be a story, there could be a message within the tile. That's entirely up to you. You will just be asked to justify it and explain it to the class. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I am just going to compress this side of the tile. Good. And then I will roll it up. it over and compress this side. I think I'm pretty much air pocket free. Looks good. Okay, so as with any slab, if I cut it and then pick it up in this wet state, I will warp out the surface, so I don't want to do that. So I have another board here, and this is my tile final resting place. So I'm going to pick this tile up, this slab up, roll it very carefully, maybe flip it over one more time. Give it one more rib. Okay, and then I made a few tiles yesterday, last night, just to try it out. And if you do make some tile and you want to keep them wet, make sure you put your tile on some plastic. But I'm feeling here that even though these were on plastic, they dried out a little. So these two were made yesterday. Now, you know, of course, this is a sculpture class, and I want you folks to think about sculpture, but also think about perhaps introducing sculptural ideas into utilitarian situations. In other words, you could build something that would be installed into your house or your apartment or hung on the wall that could serve a useful purpose. So don't discount the utilitarian. Embellish the utilitarian with some of your sculptural ideas. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to leave that right where it is. I won't pick it up. These I could pick up because they had set. These other tile that I made yesterday I could pick up because they're getting to be leather hard. Okay, so this is going to be my base. And then let's say I want to add let's say I want to add a layer. And I will be actually asking you to do that. So I'm going to go now and cut out this pattern. Now I won't really be able to add this onto the tile immediately. I'll want to time it, so maybe in class I'll cut some of these out, go away till tonight or tomorrow, and come back when these are leather hard, right? And then I can score. Oops, come on. Tomorrow I may be able to score and slip these pieces together. Okay, so there's one tile. Now, I can play with this. If I'm just going to do this now, it's really too wet to do. But I could take these pieces that I cut out and I could play around with some of these pieces, with some ideas here. So anything that you cut out is essentially a negative or counter shape to what you're intending to cut out. So don't be too quick to throw these sections away. And then tomorrow or the next day, I will come in, I'll put this on top, I'll trace around it. This will be tomorrow or when these go leather hard. I bet you know what I'm going to do next. Get my fork. I will score. I will score. Make sure I'm scoring the right side. So I'm flipping this over. I will take a little bit of water. I will put this on top, and this part is quite important. I'm going to start in the middle here of this upper slab and try to squeeze any possible air pocket out of where I'm joining clay to clay. Because should I get an air pocket there, I could blow this tile right off the top of the lower tile. From there, it's entirely up to you what you want to do. This could be painted with slip. This could be painted with slip. This could be textured with your stamps. This could be textured. This edge could be beveled all the way around. And then you almost are developing another layer of this tile. But just be aware, you really will have to pay attention to your drying and time your work according to the dryness of your tile. So tiles are awesome, tiles are fun. I think you're going to like it. And away we go. Bye.